What do I love about New Orleans? It's kind of hard to even answer that question because I am New Orleans and New Orleans is me. My inspiration always came from like the neighborhood. I just walked outside of my door, filmed and documented my community. And then don't even talk about culture down here, right? It's a very musical city. We kind of moving our own way down here. If you ever go to the second line, it's how can you not be inspired whenever you're from here? Because everything that you see, that you love, imagine having that inside of you. We don't just view it, we live it, we are it. Hey, how's it going? My name is Edward Buckles Jr. Everybody calls me Buck. And I'm a producer, writer, filmmaker, director, and we are here in New Orleans. What I love most about New Orleans is the fact that we are just connected to the soil of this place. New Orleans and black people are like this. I would like to change the gaze of New Orleans, how people look at this place. I feel like the New Orleans gaze has always been kind of this forced perspective so that it can match certain agendas, tourism and, a service industry. Very, very important to the city, I understand that. But whenever people think about New Orleans, they think about just these very cliche things. They think about the beignet and they think about Mardi Gras and French quarters and being able to drink on the streets. But the true pulse of this city is really within our communities. Everything you love about this place is because of black people and because of the culture that we have stayed at one with since we got here. The actual second line, its origins come from death and funeral. If you look at a jazz funeral, after everybody who is grieving proceeds, the music kicks in. The brass band picks up and everybody celebrates. They celebrate their life that once was, that has now transitioned into being an ancestor. And now, second line culture has kind of grown beyond that. It's not just funerals. We are in second line season, which happens every Sunday, where social aid and pleasure clubs put on their second lines, and it's just different neighborhoods every week. One day, I was at a second line and I was filming on a GH5 Panasonic. And I was filming these kids and they had on pink suits and they had these suitcases that said, I'm living my best life. Bro, I swear to you, while I was filming it, I started crying. It's this feeling I've been trying to figure it out ever since I started filming at Second Lines. When I'm out there, I'm actually kind of tapping into something else. When I'm documenting, I'm not just creating, I'm not just out there as an artist, I'm actually out there dealing with some type of spiritual element, and I still can't put my finger on it. People might see a second line and think that it's just a parade and people just on the street singing and dancing, but now people are actually, communicating with God and ancestors. We lost that during Hurricane Katrina, but we also lost that during the pandemic. So after that pandemic, when it came back, it just got so much bigger, and we absolutely honor it and respect it because it's really like church and medicine for us. When I first started filmmaking and photography, I didn't have access and I wasn't really able to afford the best gear. So I always just used what I had. My very first camera, I stole from my best friend because he just wasn't using it. And I took that camera out and just ran around New Orleans asking people random questions. And then later, because I was working with storytelling and dialogue and interviews so much, the Zoom handy recorders. When I got that, I started to run around New Orleans with just like a DSLR camera in my hand and a Zoom. I still try to keep everything small, so you might catch me with a Blackmagic 6K and my handy Zoom. Now I might bring a sound team or I might bring a gaffer with some tubes and some boards. But when it's just me and I'm shooting something that's intimate and sacred, such as a second line or in someone's home, it's just me and my Blackmagic or maybe a Super 8 camera. I get the job done by any tool necessary. This is my go-to camera whenever I need to be small and nimble. I don't like the term fly on the wall because that's not really like what I do. I'm kind of like a fly in your face or like a fly, sitting on your nose, right? I'm that fly that you literally have to swat away because I'm that close. But I've been on this Venus Optics 12 millimeter. It's been perfect for me, bro. For me, it depends on just what the story needs. Every story needs its own set of tools. Once upon a time, it was illegal for too many black people to be gathered together at one time. That's why I say whenever we gather here in New Orleans, it's radical, it's resistance. Most of the spaces and places that I've dedicated my work to,
has been places that I want to preserve because it's places that we use as resistance. It's places that we use as survival. So our gathering grounds are not just places that we attend. These are actual sacred grounds, and we are actually resisting the threat of loss, the threat of these very spaces not existing in the future. This is just one of them, Under the Bridge. So these are places that Black people gather and are able to be free, even if it's just for a moment. Just being out here is an act of preservation. It's an act of flexing our radical muscles. Seeing all of these Black people here at the second line coming out by the hundreds, it's empowering and it's radical. So that's why I love being out here. So I gotta get back into it though. You can't miss it, you know what I'm saying? We on Magnolia and Jackson. Magnolia and Jackson, we at the very first second line of the season. And we uptown, we in the 3 right now, huh?
Yes, sir.
We in the 3. This is like, it's funny because like this is where my mom and my daddy are from. All through here, Jackson, mainly on Phillip Street to on the Parkway. So whenever I'm shooting over here, it's very special because I feel like I'm able to like walk the same streets and document the same streets that my family come up on. It always feels amazing to be out here documenting, capturing these storytellers because everybody out here is telling a story in their own. It's almost like I'm working and communicating with my ancestors. So I love it out here, for sure.
I would say that I focus on being able to basically document and preserve a time in New Orleans history, just showing like people who are here right now in this post-Katrina New Orleans, and who knows what's gonna happen with it in the future, but I'm focused on making sure that I can leave a flag in the dirt. That's what I'm concerned about when people look at my work. I want people to know that we were here.